Walter the werewolf had a fuzzy, furry, frightful secret. Every werewolf loves to howl at the moon, right? Not Walter. His big, wolfy lungs wanted to sing something different. Something with a little razzle-dazzle. He dreamed of singing jazz. But could a werewolf trade his howl for a smooth, jazzy tune? Walter stood on Howling Hill. His fur was the color of a stormy cloud, and his eyes were like two shiny gold coins. The moon, a giant scoop of vanilla ice cream, hung in the starry sky. All the other werewolves, a pack of fluffy ruffians, threw their heads back. Oh, they all howled, their voices echoing through the spooky forest. Walter opened his mouth, took a deep breath, but instead of a howl, out came a scat dash, a dash doodle, dash do dash, bop dash bop. The other werewolves stopped, their ears twitched. A tiny squirrel, who was watching from a branch, nearly dropped his acorn in surprise. Walter's face turned as red as a ripe tomato under his gray fur. He felt his fluffy tail droop. He just wanted to sing his song. Why did he have to sound like everyone else? He decided he would not howl. He would sing. Walter imagined a stage right there in the forest clearing. He pictured a shiny saxophone and a tinkling piano, but who would play in his spooky swing band? He was just one jazzy werewolf in a forest full of howlers. He needed a band that understood that music wasn't just about being loud. It was about feeling the rhythm in your paws. He practiced his scales in secret. Instead of a woo, it was do re mi. He tapped his claws on logs, creating cool drum beats. He pictured a crowd of forest creatures, not running away in fear, but tapping their feet to his music. The problem was, every time he tried to explain jazz to a badger or a bear, they just looked at him with blank stares. How could he show them the magic of music if they had never heard anything but howls and hooting owls? One evening, Walter found an old, hollow log. When he tapped it, it made a deep, booming sound. Bum 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 it went. Then he found a spider web, still wet with morning dew. He gently plucked a strand, and it went twang. Like a tiny guitar, he found two flat stones and clicked them together. Click, clack, click. They sounded just like a pair of hi-hat cymbals. He didn't need a fancy saxophone or a grand piano. The whole forest was his instrument. He started to play, layering the sounds. The deep log bass, the twangy spiderweb melody, and the click-clack rhythm. He closed his eyes and let the music flow. Then he opened his mouth and sang. Not a howl, but a smooth, soulful song about the moon and the stars, and the feeling of the cool night air on his fur. His voice, once a source of embarrassment, soared through the trees. Suddenly, he heard a sound. A little plink-plonk joined his rhythm. He opened his eyes. A small field mouse with enormous ears was tapping on a row of acorns with a twig. Then a thump, thump, thump. A grumpy-looking badger was thumping his tail against a fallen tree in perfect time. Soon, a family of raccoons started shaking berry bush, creating a soft, rustling shaker sound. A tall, elegant owl hooted a low, bluesy note. Walter grinned, his pointy teeth gleaming in the moonlight. He had found his band. The Spooky Swing Syndicate was born. They were a strange-looking group. A werewolf, a mouse, a badger, raccoons, and an owl, but they made the most amazing music. The sound was new. It was exciting. It was their own. News of the jazzy werewolf spread through the forest. Animals that used to hide from the werewolves now peeked out from behind trees, their ears twitching with curiosity. The other werewolves, standing on Howling Hill, heard the music. It wasn't a howl, but it was beautiful. One by one, they crept down from the hill, drawn by the irresistible rhythm. They saw Walter, not trying to be a fearsome beast, but just being Walter. He was singing his heart out, his tail wagging to the beat. He didn't sound like them, but he was one of them. The forest had never felt so alive. Walter had found his voice, and in doing so, he showed everyone that you do not need to sound like everyone else to belong. Your unique sound is what makes the world a more beautiful song. Thanks for watching our story. Remember to be yourself because you are amazing just the way you are. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more fun stories. Good night, little one.